Hey there, Bob from Constant Garden. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it after the show. But right now, let's just get into the show. The microbial teas, the easy trees that Nectar for the Gods has come out with. People have been asking about them. Are they available? These sorts of things. So Scott and I just had a little bit of a chat about them, what they're about, how to use them, that sort of thing. I think you might find it interesting, especially if you're looking for more diversity in your microbial soup. So watch the clip. I'll talk to you after.
Snoopy. He's Snoopy. Hi guys, I was hoping to get a little more info about Apollos and Plutos. Thanks, happy growing. So I don't know how you directly get at that question. Let me ask you some questions. How's it going with that? Is it wide to spread out to the world? Can people get that on OCGFAM922?
Yeah, well, one of them is fully labeled across the country, and the other one is still stuck in California, so we're still selling the sticker for the sample bag.
Oh, a sticker, and you get a very sizable sample with a sticker.
Big sample of 8-ounce sample, or that's why the stickers are so expensive on the site. Is in fact, Harold Hackett was like, "Hey, I can't find the Apollo on your website. Where is it?" So I sent him the sticker link. He's like, "Those are really expensive stickers." I'm like, "Yeah, but you get a hell of a sample with that sticker." He's like, wink, wink. I understand. So,
it's like back in the day shit.
Yeah, they're coming. OCG offers both of them. A few stores around the country have them until we get fully registered, but we're still stuck in California.
Do you need both?
I mean, you don't need any, but
yeah. If you were going to use it, would you use both? Would you get a big one of one or two small ones?
Well, I get a small one of Apollo because Apollo's the azos. That's the nitrogen fixing. It's the early stage. You need just one application in cannabis, especially if you're under a 6-week veg time. One application should fix enough nitrogen, keep that bacteria living, and keep it thriving all the way into the bloom stage. So one application isn't all you need. I'd say buy a small pack of that. The Pluto, Pluto use a little bit more, but it's really only 2 applications. So, I mean, in 10 weeks, you're pretty much applying it the first week of bloom and about the end of the 3rd or beginning of 4th week of bloom. That's fixing a whole bunch of different bacillus strains in your root system. That's going to benefit the phosphorus breakdown, the calcium uptake. And it really, once they get in there, they thrive and they repopulate. So you don't need a ton of this stuff to keep those colonies going. You don't have to apply every tea day one of these 2 powders. You know, really one application of the Azos Apollo at the beginning and a couple applications of Pluto during flowering. It's plenty. Supplement the rest with SLF or Photo Plus or your own compost teas. That keeps the microbes diverse. It keeps the colonies balanced in the soil, and it saves your money on buying these instant tea forms that are literally just, once those spores germinate and start going, you're not killing them, so there's no real need to just keep repopulating the same forms every time.
This isn't, it's called an easy tea, but it's not quite the same principle as a compost tea.
Oh no, compost teas are so much more diverse. I mean, this is very specific. We want calcium and phosphorus to be eaten in bloom, and we want nitrogen to be fixed in the soil and veg. That's what these bacteria do in our product. All the other products, like Photo Plus, has way more of a diverse.
It's a microbial inoculation. Throw some stuff in.
It's a soup. Tons of life. But really, worm castings and good compost and a little molasses and an air stone is going to get you the most diverse and the cheapest form of microbial inoculation. So just change it up. Don't use just our powders and don't just use compost teas, but kind of diversify your microbes and make that soil happy and living.
When you do your Pluto or your Apollo, would you do that as your tea day that time you do it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do your tea within that set?
That would be my tea.
That would be your tea within that set.
This time I'm doing an Apollo tea, and then next week I'm going to do a worm casting compost tea, and then the next week I'll do a Photo Plus tea and an SLF tea. So just add a microbe to water on tea day.
When you're doing this stuff, do you still use any kind of mycorrhiza when you originally potted it up, or do you not so much worry about that because you've got so many bacteria or microbes going?
Mycorrhiza is so different than bacteria, and I still use mycorrhiza, and our potting soil's got a ton of mycorrhiza, so when I'm transplanting these, they're going into a fresh little pocket
of soil, sure.
So I'm putting the mycorrhiza right in there. Now, this bed was old, so when I was retransplanting all these brand new starts in this bed, I was actually adding a little bit of the green grow mycorrhiza into each hole just to get my strawberries to thrive and have less transplant shock. But once they're established in here, they pretty much will live symbiotically with the plant thrive really well until you rototill it in, and once you rototill it, you break that connection, they die and become food. So only if I'm ripping these out like this, if I have to put new soil in here next year, I'll wait until I plant, and then I'll put fresh soil that has the fresh mycorrhiza and plant right on top of it.
Okay, so when you're doing actual vegetables, would you still be using Pluto and Apollo, or you think it's more for your...
No, because it's still, I'm giving them bone meal, I'm giving them one shot, I'm giving them
need
feather
all this,
meal.
yeah.
I need something in there to digest that stuff, because that stuff is not, bone meal is still a chunk of bone that needs to be broken down.
No matter how small it is still a chunk of bone.
To a root, it's this big.
Yeah.
So having those bacillus strains in there that want to digest that calcium phosphate, that's going to make that bone meal more available. So I always keep inoculations going.
Okay, what do you think? Informative, entertaining, helpful? Have you tried the teas? Have you not tried the teas? Are you gonna? Are you not gonna? Let's talk about it. Whatever. In the comments. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. The OCG Fam Show is pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.